This is Duncan. Duncan's a good boy. Duncan will invite you for all the treats in the world. Say hi, Duncan. Unfortunately, not every dog out there is as sweet and cuddly as Duncan, and from time to time my office does get phone calls from individuals who have been bitten or attacked by dogs, and they want to know what their legal rights and options are. In Maryland, it can be very, very fact specific. A situation where the question is asked, were you on someone's property? Were you on their property with permission? Was the dog running around in a common area or off the leash, and was the owner failing to control the dog? And these are all very specific facts and circumstances that have to be looked at. As a general rule in Maryland, if a dog causes an injury or death, there is a rebuttable presumption that the owner knew or should have known that the dog had a propensity or tendency to be violent or aggressive. Now, that's a mouthful. What that essentially means is if a dog bites or attacks somebody, it's assumed that the owner knew or should have known that the dog would do that, and the owner has to bring forth evidence or rebut that assumption or presumption that he or she knew that their dog had that kind of tendency in terms of its behavior. If an attorney is retained by the dog owner or homeowner, they're going to look at a couple of defenses that are very common in these sorts of cases in Maryland. One of the first defenses will be, has a dog bitten somebody in the past? The argument will be, well, if they've never bitten anyone, how could I have known that the dog tends to be aggressive or has what the law calls a propensity for aggressive behavior? However, Maryland law is very clear. You do not have to have a prior bite to prove that the owner had knowledge that the dog had a tendency for this aggressive behavior. Another defense you'll see raised is, did the individual who was bitten or attacked by the dog provoke the dog? Chances are you've seen it happen. Someone gets in a dog's face, they try to grab something from the dog like food or a bone, or they get aggressive with the dog, and the dog reacts because the dog is scared or startled. And sometimes the facts of a case or dog bite make that defense a very valid one. Another one that you often see is, what was the status of the individual on the property? Meaning, was that individual invited to be on the property by the owner, or were they a trespasser? And the status of the individual on the property can be very much a determining factor into whether or not there is a valid claim against the owner of the dog. As you can see, dog bite cases in Maryland are not exactly clear-cut, and they are very fact-specific. If you feel like you might have a claim, I would recommend that you reach out to an attorney in Maryland to discuss the facts of your claim specifically to see what your legal options might be. Thank you.